I am very excited about this next topic because as a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, as a veteran, someone who has served our great nation, I am often asked this question a lot. People will say, are we doing enough to support our veterans? And it's a great question. And people often see the amount of money that we send out of our country to help people. And I'm not saying that that's right, wrong, or indifferent, but it begs the question, are we doing enough to support our veterans when there is a veteran homelessness problem, there is a veteran suicide problem, and there are many issues that they face. And so tonight, I am really excited for our next guest. I have known Doug for many years, and we have worked together in so many ways to help out our veteran, our military community, and he's even a board member on our foundation, the Think Great Foundation. We award scholarships to military spouses. Doug served almost 32 years in the Minnesota National Guard. And as their command sergeant major, the highest level you can get to as an enlisted service member, he led over 13,000 soldiers and airmen. He also hosts the Minnesota Military Radio Show, which I have been a guest on a couple times. And he's currently the deputy director of Veterans Benefits at the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs. Doug, are you there?
I absolutely am, Eric. Great to hear your voice tonight.
Well, Doug, likewise. And I have been on your show, so this is great to be on the other side. I get to ask you questions tonight.
That's perfect. I mean, the tables have turned, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a great question. In your opinion, are we, perhaps as a country or even as a state right now, do you feel that we're doing enough to support veterans, or is there room for improvement there?
Well, that's a really tough question to answer. Obviously I'm at the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs, and we believe that we're doing everything that we can possibly do to take care of veterans in Minnesota. Is there room for improvement? Of course there is. I think there's a lot of things that we can do. I would say that one of the big things is really being able to harness all of these different agencies, not-for-profit agencies, obviously the state, and entities that want to do things for our veterans, for their dependents, their families. And really, it gets to be so overwhelming because there is a lot of different entities. And so when you ask the question, are we doing enough? I think it really depends on that veteran and what their need is and whether or not the information is readily available or the veteran actually knows about an entity that can give them the support that they're looking for at their time of need.
I think that's a big issue that is out there. We have veterans, so many, that just don't know all the resources, all the support that's available to them. And I guess one of the things that might be beneficial is many people listening right now, they might not know what the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs really does. Can you kind of give us that overarching viewpoint on what you guys do?
Yeah, and I'll start off by saying this. Any veteran, any service member, any family member, dependent of a veteran, the point of entry, the place they should always go first is their county veteran service officer. That is where they can find out about all the different things. As a matter of fact, the County Veteran Service Officer, that CVSO, is the link into many of the benefits that we provide at the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs, and specifically inside the benefits division. That's where I'm the deputy director. And just a quick overarching thing, we are here in the benefits division to help support our veterans when they need financial assistance. Some of our programs are income or asset based. And then some of them aren't. It's about, is there a financial need? So quick example. This is an easy one. It's although it's not a super cold, right? We haven't had a horrible winter, but it seems like Murphy always attacks when, the furnace goes out in winter,
That's right?
I mean, and so that's a problem. And someone might not have that $10,000, $15,000 or whatever it is to get that furnace replaced if that's what's required. The Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs, specifically the Benefits Division, that is an entity. We are a division that could potentially help that veteran in that time of financial crisis or need. But that's not all. Some of our programs will help people with dental and optical care, for example, and then what else does the MDVA do? I mean, it's not just about benefits, although in my division, of course, we love to be able to take care of our veterans, provide those benefits, but it's beyond that. And, it's something as simple as home care, right? We have 8 skilled nursing facilities across the state of Minnesota for Minnesota veterans. And interestingly enough, in the last 6 weeks, this is unheard of, Eric, in the last 6 weeks, 3 brand new homes opened up. I mean, that was just a huge undertaking by our leadership inside the MDVA, because
that's fantastic.
We want to be able to touch each of the different corners of the state.
Is it true? I think I heard, or maybe you had even told me at one point, it had been, 25 years since a new veterans home was launched?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's been 25 years since a new
Minnesota
veterans home was opened in Minnesota. Yeah,
wow.
So now we have homes in Silver Bay, Laverne, Fergus Falls, Hastings, Minneapolis, and then the brand new homes are Bemidji, Montevideo, and Preston. So, the people then say, well, how could I maybe become a resident there?
Yeah.
And, we send everybody to a website, right? MinnesotaVeteran.org. That's where we send people to find out anything about the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs and, of course, the benefits and things that we offer.
So is that where they could go when you say that website? Can they go there to find out who their county veteran service officer would be?
Yeah, great question. They can find it through that website. They can also go to macvso.org, and there's a drop down there where you can do a search. Or, of course, you can just go into your Google and type in, who's my CVSO, and it'll bring you to the webpage. Right. But that is definitely the starting point for these benefits. And if veterans have not gone to see their CVSO ever or for a few years, they really check in, because there's new benefits that come about all the time, and that's the person that can help them.
Oh, that's awesome. And what do you see right now in the world of the veteran community, or at least in Minnesota? What do you see as some of the biggest needs that veterans have? Maybe the veterans that are listening right now that weren't aware before the show started that they could get in touch with a county veteran service officer, but what are you seeing some of the biggest needs are for veterans today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of our biggest programs or benefits that we're providing financial assistance to is that Veterans Relief Grant. That's where I mentioned before about, if someone has that need to get a furnace replaced, or maybe their car repaired, or, maybe they've come under hard times and they're about ready to get foreclosed on in their mortgage, and they really need some financial assistance. They just don't have the means because they don't have that emergency fund, saved up that Anita was talking about,
Yes.
And so they can come in and, we'll do an assessment on income and assets, and we'll try to help them where we can. And, but the thing they have to do is ask, right?
Yeah.
You don't know if you don't ask. So I would say the biggest thing right now is inside of that financial assistance for a Veterans Relief Grant. I would also tell you that very popular program right now is dental and optical assistance. We can provide vouchers for those who are eligible, $1,500 voucher per year for someone to get dental care, routine dental care. And we can even assist with extractions and preparation for dentures, and then care for dentures. So there's a lot of things that we can do. And again, that CVSO is the place to go. And I would be remiss, Eric. I know that, you're watching that clock too, as you have to do in the radio business, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we also have state veteran cemeteries, and the newest one just opened in August of last year. That was in Redwood Falls. And so that adds to our veteran cemeteries in Little Falls, Duluth, and Preston. And, these are state veteran cemeteries. And, again, we're trying to make sure that no matter where you are in the state of Minnesota, for that final resting place for that veteran, it can be somewhere closer to, where their home of residence is, or where their family is, so they can come out and visit them in these pristine cemeteries that our Memorial Affairs Department takes care of so well.
I think that's so awesome. Everything that you guys provide, just the work that you're doing for our veteran community is huge. And let me ask you this: veteran disability claims or status. From my experience, a lot of veterans don't understand that they could actually have a claim filed and receive a certain percentage for their disability status. But their CVSO or their county veteran service officer can help with that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we would recommend is they do go to their CVSO. Now, we do have claims representatives with the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs that work very closely with the CVSOs to make sure that the claims are, dress right?
Yes.
And when they get submitted, there's a better likelihood of those claims that are submitted are actually going to be approved. But yeah, again, we rely on those county veteran service officers to do so much, and they are just a great resource in the community for our veterans, for their families, for their dependents. And, we can't thank them enough for what they do for us.
Yeah, they're invaluable.
Absolutely. They're invaluable, and they are the link. That's how you get to the Department of Veterans Affairs for many of the benefits and resources.
So, Doug, with everybody listening right now, I mean, we love our veteran community, and we want nothing but the best for them. How can people or businesses team up with or help support the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs and reach out to you?
I am so glad you asked that question. One, I told you that we opened up these new homes, and we are hiring like crazy to fill the healthcare needs, right? We want to support our veterans that want to be residents in these homes, and we're looking for healthcare workers to come in and be a part of our state team and support our veterans. So careers.mn.gov is the place to go. They can, again, find it at minnesotaveteran.org. But right now, that is a big need that our department needs, and that is to help fill some of these vacancies.
Well, I am hoping that you hear from some of our listeners, Doug. And as always, I just want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you do for the entire veteran community, and just appreciate your time tonight.
Hey, you bet, Eric. Thanks. You're doing a great job, and keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.